This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
I don't think I would be standing here as quickly without the funding from the city.
Now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana. As small business owners try to stay afloat during the coronavirus pandemic, many are turning to the government for help. Working for you, we check in with one business owner to see how those initiatives are helping her business survive.
When you look at the predisposing conditions that lead to a bad outcome with coronavirus, the things that get people into ICUs that require intubation and often lead to death, they are just those very comorbidities that are unfortunately disproportionately prevalent in the African American population.
And new data shows African Americans have a higher risk of dying from COVID-19. This morning, hear what top health officials have to say about the numbers. And a budding floral arranger delivering joy to people in need.
I'm standing on the shoulders of lots of folks who have cared about me and loved me, so it's time to give back.
We show you how one Franklin man and a flower shop are working together to bring positivity to their community.
All right, it is 6 o'clock here, halfway through the work week on this April 8th. Thanks for waking up with us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez. Welcome to your RTV6 living room set as we do a little social distancing. I miss you guys. Love the weather, though, yesterday. Todd Clausen, paycheck raise on the way.
All right. You know, it's going to be 2 days in a row. You're going to be forking out some more money here, Rafael, right? Because, you know, today's going to be another great day until this evening. That's when we'll have some concerns in this forecast. This morning, though, it is great. Temperatures anywhere from 60 to 68 degrees. Very mild, clear skies. And I've been saying all morning long, check out the supermoon. It's absolutely beautiful here this morning. There's some high, thin clouds out there passing in front of it. But if you just wait long enough in your area, you should be able to see it at some point as these clouds really continue to thin out. The storms from last night just kind of grazed us to the north and then made their way through Ohio. They've pushed now off towards the east, so we are in great shape, at least initially here throughout the daytime hours today. It's another day of very mild temperatures. Some of you get to 80 degrees again. Most of you will probably be anywhere from about 75 to 80 degrees with sunshine. 7 o'clock onward, though, that's when we bring some storms into the forecast. They could be strong to severe for many of us. We'll break down that severe weather threat for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. We're keeping a close eye on traffic as you're heading out the door to work on this Wednesday. Here's a look in Fishers. Good morning to you. I-69 near 106th Street. Traffic is picking up, as you can see by all the headlights. Everything's moving along up to speed. No crashes to report around the metro area at this hour.
It has not been easy. Some have lost a business. Many have lost a job. Some have lost a loved one. In short order, it has become one of the biggest challenges our state, our city has ever faced.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett joining Governor Eric Holcomb and other state leaders to provide an update on the impact the coronavirus pandemic is having in our state. The numbers are sobering this morning. Another 34 Hoosiers have died because of COVID-19. Here are the other details as they come into our newsroom. A total of 173 deaths have been recorded by the Indiana State Department of Health. Marion County alone now has more than 2,000 positive cases, the most in our state. Indiana has reported more than 5,000 cases statewide. So far, 28,000 Hoosiers have been tested. We're monitoring these numbers daily and expect an update on all of these numbers today at 10 this morning. Hoosiers, as you can imagine, are working together. An Alexandria woman is looking for ways to flatten the curve. So she and her family, they're working together. They're making about 60 to 70 face masks a day. Our Kelsey Anderson gives us a look at their operation. Kelsey, good morning.
It seems everyone is looking for one. Face masks are a hot item right now as everyone is working to stop the spread of the coronavirus. After her salon closed, Stephanie Ellis couldn't sit around and wait for the crisis to be over. So she got to work with her mom in their she shed, and they got sewing, making protective face masks to donate to healthcare facilities. They decided to start selling them to the public to help pay for the ones they plan to donate. Ellis says after 2 Facebook postings, the demand for her face masks was more than she expected.
They're buying at such a fast rate that we actually have to set some time out of the production to keep up to just do the ones that are being donated.
Ellis says the support they have received from the community is overwhelming, whether it be folks donating supplies, money, or helping with deliveries. If you're interested in buying a face mask or know of a place that could use some, you can reach Ellis's shop at thesleepcap.com. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you so much. We're also tracking how the coronavirus is having an impact on small businesses. Our team coverage now continues with Alyssa Donovan with the very latest. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Raphael. I spoke with one local business owner who received a loan from the city of Indianapolis. This is an effort by Mayor Joe Hogsett as well as the Chamber of Commerce to help businesses during this time. Angel Hicks owns a women's clothing store. It's called 28 Boutique. Like many, the coronavirus outbreak has had a major impact on her bottom line. Hicks has transitioned to online sales, but even so, things are not adding up the way they did before the stay-at-home order went into place. That's why she took advantage of the small business loans offered by the city and Chamber of Commerce. The immediate assistance helped her bridge the gap in her finances. Small businesses can receive a loan between $1,000 and $25,000 in assistance. Hicks says she hopes other owners seek the help and find creative ways to make their businesses work during this time.
I think small businesses will thrive because they've had time to sit back, relax, and rest and think of new ways to grow their businesses and do things to be considered essential businesses.
And the loans are for food, entertainment, and other small businesses, and they can be used to pay costs like insurance premiums or employee salaries. And there are no fees for business owners to apply for these loans. The mayor says he just wants to help as many of the small businesses as possible in the Indianapolis area. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. The time right now is 6:07. Hiring Hoosiers is dedicated to connecting you to job opportunities during this difficult time. The circumstances surrounding the coronavirus outbreak are driving up demand for grocery delivery services like Instacart. The company is hiring hundreds of thousands of shoppers all across the country. Micah Huber is a local Instacart shopper. She picks her own hours and which order requests to fill.
I do it as a supplement to my full-time job on the weekends and, some mornings. You can look through and you can actually see, kind of how you see how big the order is, what the payment is, what the tip is.
Well, a spokesperson for Instacart declined an interview with RTV6. Last week, some workers threatened to strike, demanding better pay, sick leave, and protective items. The company says starting next week, it will offer free health and safety kits for employees. They will include masks, hand sanitizer, and a thermometer. Instacart workers are considered independent contractors like Uber drivers. Dollar General is also ramping up hiring during this pandemic. Last month, the company announcing plans to add up to 50,000 employees by the end of April. Most, but not all of the jobs are expected to be temporary. Dollar General operates more than 16,000 stores as well as distribution centers and cold storage facilities. We have links for you to apply to these positions and more up right now at hiringhoosiers.com. Plus, while you're there, you can look at our Hiring Hoosiers job board. There are dozens of other positions you can apply for there as well.
It is a great Wednesday morning as more Hoosiers are working together. You see, new this morning, a florist unable to sell flowers let a new idea take root. Here's Petals Positivity right here in Johnson County.
Good morning.
Good morning.
A budding idea blossomed into a welcome surprise.
I have some pretty flowers here for you.
Thank you.
I'm standing on the shoulders of lots of folks who have cared about me and loved me, so it's time to give back.
John received a call from J.P. Parker Flowers in Franklin. The florist had dozens, upon dozens of flowers meant for events and funerals no longer happening. Instead of throwing out those flowers, the business emptied out its cooler into John's vehicle.
And then I just work my magic on my kitchen table.
From his basement, he brought up vases of all kinds, ribbons of all colors, and lots of wiring. All the ingredients to bring these buckets of flowers to life, ready for curbside delivery as bouquets.
Then I kept a social distance, so I just put their flowers on the doorstep so they didn't have to be afraid of any exposure. So yeah, they were absolutely delighted.
John also happens to be director of counseling at Franklin College. Discussing mental health at this moment can be a thorny topic among strangers, but he believes it can be addressed through acts of kindness.
Quarantine tends to isolate us, and it just increases our stress levels. So just doing for others will lift you up.
He's received notes and videos thankful for the bouquets. Petals, lots of petals, powering positivity during this pandemic. John was able to use 100 fresh flowers and distribute them to 19 families throughout Johnson County. What a surprise for those that received those beautiful bouquets. At this moment, really, and every day of the week, we want to hear your stories, more stories of our communities working together as we work through this pandemic together. Share your stories, please, every day by emailing us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. You know, there's so much misinformation spreading about how to treat and prevent COVID-19. Still to come on Good Morning Indiana, we talk to an expert who is busting some myths surrounding the coronavirus. Lauren?
And another round of direct payments could be coming to some Americans. We'll tell you who's eligible and when those checks could be sent out. Todd.
And Lauren, most of today is going to be smooth sailing with sunshine and temperatures back near 80 degrees. A great afternoon to get outside. This evening, though, you want to stay connected to RTV6 as severe storms will likely make their way into the area. The Storm Shield app, a great tool to have as well, acts as a weather radio right on your phone. That way, when thunderstorm watches and warnings get issued, you can set it specifically to your neighborhood. You will be alerted to those. We'll talk about that severe threat and the timeline for you coming up in just a few minutes here as Good Morning Indiana continues at 6:12.
All of us at Wickerworks in Brownsburg.
Welcome back. It is 6:15. The U.S. Surgeon General says African Americans are at higher risk of dying from COVID-19. Dr. Jerome Adams says early data pointed out this trend, and Dr. Anthony Fauci explained the new development at Tuesday's White House briefing.
We've known literally forever that diseases like diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and asthma are disproportionately afflicting the minority populations, particularly the African Americans. Unfortunately, when you look at the predisposing conditions that lead to a bad outcome with coronavirus, the things that get people into ICUs that require intubation and often lead to death, they are just those very comorbidities that are unfortunately disproportionately prevalent in the African American population. So we're very concerned about that.
Right now, the federal government is not tracking COVID-19 cases by demographic groups, but several states are. In Louisiana, African Americans make up 32% of the population, but slightly more than 70% of the COVID-19 deaths. In Michigan and Illinois, African Americans make up 15% of the overall population, but account for about 40% of coronavirus deaths. Indiana's state health commissioner says she hopes to have the racial data of Indiana's cases by tomorrow or Friday.
So check your email. There is so much misinformation when it comes to how to treat or prevent COVID-19 in social media. And that's why we're getting this warning right now. Fake coronavirus cures are flooding social media as well as email inboxes. The problem is so widespread, the Centers for Disease Control has issued a warning today. Working for You, RTV6 asked a pharmaceutical expert to explain which products are safe and legal and which are not.
There's some good information out there, and as usual, there's a lot of questionable information. Dietary supplements are generally over-touted, so you're going to hear tons and tons of claims being made around taking this supplement or this vitamin, and it's really not doing anything. We'll think, oh, I'll take CBD and it's going to be a cure-all, and that's not the case. It has real therapeutic capabilities, but in this instance, that is not one of them.
The Food and Drug Administration has sent several warning letters to companies that sold products claimed to prevent or treat COVID-19.
More relief could be on the way for millions of Americans struggling to pay their bills. This, as experts warn, it could be another 2 months before the economy restarts. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the details.
As the coronavirus takes a massive toll on the economy,
it's been hard times since then, so
this helps.
It helps a lot.
Struggling families are forced to choose between staying home and getting help.
It's very important to me and my family, and we're making it work.
In California and Pennsylvania, people waiting for hours in these lines outside food banks.
We were down here first, like around 7:30.
In Florida, hundreds of people were forced to wait for unemployment forms after the state's website crashed. But this morning, new hope as the government talks about a second round of relief payments before those first checks are even delivered.
So we are going to be providing tremendous amounts of money to the small businesses of our country who have been absolutely clobbered.
It comes as President Trump promises more help for small businesses. In addition to the $350 billion already approved last month, a Senate vote could come tomorrow.
I'll be asking Congress to provide an additional $250 billion.
The administration saying it's already processed more than $70 billion in loans so far. But many businesses say they're struggling to access the cash.
And I spent all day online trying to apply for this, so I apply for that.
As for when Americans will get back to work, one former advisor to the president says it will happen slowly.
I think we're going to have to go through a very incremental approach in reopening the economy. I think it's going to be different city by city, state by state, and county by county.
Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Here in central Indiana, it's going to be a pretty nice day for us until the evening hours. Once again, we're dealing with temperatures that will be well above normal. In fact, some of you could even climb up into the 80s later on this afternoon. It's mainly dry during the daytime hours, and then the severe threat of weather will arrive later on this evening. But look at these temperatures this morning. Here we are at 6:19, and it is 68 in Bloomington, 65 in Indy, upper 50s to the north. Our normal high temperature this time of year is generally right around 61 degrees, so everybody's going to top that today as we'll see temperatures climb into the mid-70s for your afternoon high. Some of you in southern locations actually will be climbing into the 80s. Bloomington, Bedford, Seymour, maybe over towards the Terre Haute area. You easily should get to about that 80-degree mark. A little cooler here in the city, but again, a very, very nice day with the sunshine, and the winds will be a little breezy at times, but not all that bad. We missed out on these storms. Thankfully, they were riding right along the warm front, which surged north of most of us here in central Indiana yesterday. That's what got us into the mild air. And then those storms just kind of moved right along that. So the placement of the front placed the storms in Ohio more than central Indiana, although we did have a few isolated ones early this morning. Back off to our west, it's nice and quiet right now. That's the sunshine we enjoy for a good chunk of the day today. However, a cold front arrives this evening. It's an enhanced risk for severe weather from Terre Haute to Bloomington to Seymour. The yellow is a slight risk through Indianapolis as well as Greensburg, and then a marginal risk as you work your way to the north. This will be a line of storms coming in. This is not going to be those individual isolated storms. So if you pull up the Storm Shield app, the RTV6 app, and you check the interactive radar, you'll be able to see these storms coming towards your neighborhood. 8 o'clock, they're moving into western Indiana. They make their way through the metro area probably between 9 and 10 o'clock. And then by midnight, they're racing off towards the east with just a few lingering scattered showers into the early morning hours on Thursday. As far as the threats, by far the biggest threat for everybody is going to be damaging wind. The secondary threat is large hail, especially early on in the evening hours in western locations while the sun is still up. So we're talking about Terre Haute, probably over towards Rockville, Crawfordsville, Greencastle. You'll have the best potential for hail. We'll kind of lose that threat as these storms move move east. Can't rule out the chance of an isolated tornado. That's lower on the spectrum of threats, but the further south you are, once you get into that enhanced risk, that's the better potential for maybe an isolated tornado warning. But I think most of these warnings we see this afternoon, or late this afternoon, early this evening, would be thunderstorm warnings. Once this front passes tomorrow, completely new air mass is in place. It's much, much cooler with high temperatures right around 50 degrees. The good news is, Lauren, though, we'll have plenty of sunshine.
All right, Todd, that is good news. Thank you so much. Here is a look right now at traffic. This is on the northeast side. A live look at I-465 near East 82nd Street. You can see lots of headlights out that way, and traffic is picking up. It is traveling up to speed, and there are no crashes around the metro area. It's 6:22. Stick around. We'll be right back.
And Keller, right now.
All right, welcome back. It is 6:25, and it is time to talk about what is trending at 6. Raphael, we know right now during this pandemic, if you find something like toilet paper or hand sanitizer or wipes at a grocery store, it is like hitting the lottery, right? So we know that it can be challenging at stores when the shelves look like this. But one Florida teen has gotten creative. He's came up with a way to help people out. Blake Rand created a website called coronafine.com with links to stores that are stocked with high-demand items. He spends a couple of hours scouring the web and updates those links daily. Rand says with so much time on his hands at home, hey, why not do something good?
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend.
Come on, join in with us. Walmart's latest commercial is more of a motivational message than an ad, and it's featuring the talents of its own employees. They can sing at Walmart. Where's my Walmart greeter? And it's featuring talents, of course, that's shared as associates, singing the song Lean on Me to encourage each other during the pandemic. Walmart took notice of what its workers are doing and, of course, decided to make it into an ad. What an amazing voice. Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, Plainfield police helped a young boy to have a very happy birthday, social distancing style, of course. Chirissy Sloan lives in Walnut Hill subdivision, and she sent a message to neighbors online asking for help celebrating her son's special day. Oh my goodness. She also made a personal call to police, neighbors, and they all came by to wish the young boy happy birthday as he walked around the neighborhood with his mom in his police uniform. So cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is awesome.
That's the way to do it.
I know. We have my son's first birthday this weekend, so I don't think he'll be walking around the neighborhood necessarily, but we're trying to find some ways to be creative and celebrate him at home. So happy birthday to anyone celebrating this week. All right, Todd, can we get some good weather out there?
Today's great with the sunshine, at least during the daytime hours, and mild temperatures. We're into the mid to upper 70s for afternoon highs for most of us, but some of you will approach the 80-degree mark in southern locations, Terre Haute, Bloomington, Columbus. You should get to about 80 degrees. The daytime hours are dry. However, starting about 7, 8 o'clock, western locations, and then sweeping west to east across the state, there will be the threat of severe weather. We'll detail that threat of severe weather coming up here in the 6:30 half hour.
And Todd, thank you so much. The first stimulus checks from the federal government should go out in the next week or so. But many of you still have many questions about this money. Our consumer reporter, John Matteries, has more information so you don't waste your money.
The bill is signed, the $2 trillion stimulus is on the way. But many people are still confused and wondering if they will really see a check for $1,200. Check your mailbox. The check should be coming the next 3 weeks. If your last tax refund was to direct deposit, it should go directly into your bank account. But how much you receive depends on several things. 90% of Americans should receive a check for $1,200 or $2,400 for married couples. You will also get $500 per child. However, benefits phase out once you earn $75,000 a year. There will be no stimulus check for individuals earning more than $99,000. But from the Doesn't That Stink file, some people who may not receive a check unless you take action. If you haven't filed taxes in years, the IRS may not know how to find you, so you might want to file this month just to be sure. Good news for seniors, though. If you receive Social Security, you will automatically receive a check. No need to file anything. Oh, but do you owe back child support? Sorry, that may be deducted from your check. Bottom line, if you haven't filed taxes in a couple of years, file a 1040 form right away. That way the IRS can find you and you don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matteries. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Governor Holcomb has signed an executive order to help EMS professionals stretched thin by the coronavirus crisis. The order allows retired and inactive emergency medical professionals to return to work without reinstatement or approval by the state EMS commission. They'll also be able to provide primary care to patients if they get a temporary certification from the Indiana Department of Homeland Security.
Now let's take you to Monroe County, a new place for the homeless to self-isolate due to COVID-19. A coalition of Bloomington homeless organizations has opened a temporary shelter. It is located in an unused portion of a very large warehouse. The use of the shelter will require a medical referral and a recommendation from one of the partner agencies. However, leaders of the project want to remind everyone that the shelter is not a medical facility.
New financial help is coming for schools impacted by COVID-19 restrictions. Later today, Mayor Joe Hogsett and a group of community partners will announce a fund to help schools transition to e-learning if they haven't been able to do so. We'll learn more at 10 o'clock this morning, and school districts have until April 17th to submit their remote learning plans to the State Department of Education. The time right now is 6:30. It is April 8th. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez. It is a good day to once again download that Storm Shield app because Todd Clauston, quiet now, but things will change a little later, right?
Yeah, you know, most of the day, or the daytime hours at least, Raphael, is going to be great. We'll have sunshine. Temperatures once again going to be on the warm side as we'll be climbing all the way to near 80 degrees. But it's really this evening that our rain chances, and more specifically storm chances, will start to ramp up. It's about 20% chance by 7 o'clock. That's mainly western locations. And then as we work our way through 8 to, I would say, 11, that's when we'll be in the heart of the storm activity across the area. Outside right now, it's quiet. Temperatures are sitting in the mid-60s with partly cloudy skies. Check out the supermoon if you haven't done it already. It's been spectacular throughout last night and into the morning hours. Here are your highs. Temperatures in the 70s to right around 80 degrees today in Bloomington as well as Columbus. But with the threat of severe weather looming this evening, it's going to be a line of storms sweeping across the state. Storm Shield, a great tool to have on your phone. It's an app. It's completely free in any of your app stores. It's basically a weather radio on your phone. You'll get alerts for your specific location. It's not for every single location here across central Indiana unless you want it to be. And you can control the radar. You'll be able to see those storms moving in. And if any watches and warnings get issued, you'll know immediately. So download that here today for the storms later on this evening. I'll use TrueCast and time the storms out for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Here's a look right now at I-70 out in Greenfield. This is near the rest area where you can still see those orange barrels blocking the left westbound lane of traffic. This is for emergency repair work that crews are doing there this week. Looks like traffic is still getting by just fine in that right lane. No delays to slow you down, but just watch for workers as you're heading out there today. The curve of COVID-19 cases continues to steadily go up here in the state of Indiana. The state health department again reporting the largest single-day increase in cases and deaths from the virus on Tuesday. Here's a look at the map of cases from the state health department. Indiana surpassed 5,500 cases of COVID-19 on Tuesday. Indiana now ranks 14th in the country in the number of overall cases, even though we know different states are using different techniques of measuring those numbers. The state is now at 173 deaths from the virus. The chart shows the growth in the number of cases since this pandemic began. Tuesday brought another 568 cases and added 34 deaths to the total. Those numbers are going to be updated again at 10 o'clock this morning. Of course, we'll keep you updated.
Our Hiring Hoosiers effort is focused on this unemployment tsunami and also keeping track of the benefits process. The state is keeping firm that you will get your money within 21 days after you apply. So we're going to keep track of that as we tell our stories. In fact, through your stories, we will hold the state accountable. The 21-day proof will be tracked by what you tell us. So I woke up this morning to some good news. You see, Sandy Shepard from Shelbyville has received her benefits. We shared her story yesterday. Michael from Indianapolis, who makes parts for Ford, also received his money. So taking a look at my reporter's notebook and our unemployment tracker, Sandy applied for her benefits on On March the 20th, it took 18 days for her to get her money. Michael applied for his benefits on March the 24th. Lauren, he received his money in 14 days. Some people may get their money even faster than that. It just depends on the process.
All right, well, Raphael, what is that formula to get those unemployment benefits here in the state of Indiana?
So I don't want to do calculus this morning, but they may look a little tricky in a moment. But I should point out that each state has its own formula. Indiana does not offer the most benefits, but it also does not offer the least benefits. A study last year showed that Massachusetts out east provided between $769 and more than $1,500 depending on your eligibility. And remember that in Massachusetts, the cost of living is way more expensive. Mississippi down south was at the bottom, averaging $235 a week. Indiana's maximum weekly unemployment benefit is $390 a week. So here's the formula, and I promise it may sound like calculus, but if you follow with me, it's going to be okay. Let's say that you, a Hoosier, earned $30,000. The state will divide what you earned in the 12 months before the last quarter. With me? And then they will only provide 40% of the total. So here's the math, right? If you earned a total of $30,000, it would be divided by 52 weeks, a whole year. That equals $576.92. But the state only pays about 47% of what you earn. That's part of the formula. So you multiply the 576 by 47, and there, Lauren, is the final amount of money that you would receive if you earned $30,000. Your weekly benefit would be $271. Now, put this in perspective, in 2018, Hoosiers received unemployment benefits for about 12 and a half weeks. The average payment at that time was $296. Again, this unemployment benefits situation is a tsunami. Hiring Hoosiers and RTV6 will stay on top of the process.
Raphael, thanks for breaking that down for us. Well, we do know that more than 100,000 Hoosiers have applied for the unemployment Raphael was just talking about. And the city of Indianapolis is working to keep some businesses that remain functioning on their feet right now. Mayor Joe Hogsett and the Chamber of Commerce offering small business loans in our community. Our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning. Alyssa, we know one business owner is saying that this loan has made a big difference.
That's right, Lauren. She says without this funding, she's not sure her small business could have survived this coronavirus outbreak. And she's encouraging other business owners to look at it as an option to keep their businesses on their feet. We spoke with Angela Hicks. She owns 28 Boutique, which is a women's clothing store. She recently started transitioning to online retail, which has been very helpful during the coronavirus outbreak. Even so, there was a slowdown in revenue as people started losing jobs and worrying about the economy. The loan she received from the city, which is intended for small businesses like hers, has helped make ends meet. She's been able to adjust her strategy and is hopeful that her shop will survive in the long run.
My clients are staying at home. They're doing Zoom meetings from their living room. So that being said, shopping has slowed down, sort of. But women always find an excuse to find something new in their closet.
And the business loans are meant to provide immediate assistance as federal aid is in the works. And the hope is that these business loans can provide assistance to all of the more than 43,000 small businesses that are in the Indianapolis area, to those who need that assistance right now. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. RTV6 and the United Way of Central Indiana, we're working together, right, to help raise money for organizations that serve people and families here in Central Indiana and have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So here are the details we want you to know about. Through this partnership, the goal is to increase donations to the Central Indiana Community Economic Relief Fund and tell the stories of how those dollars make an impact on our community. The Relief Fund was formed back on March the 13th. All donations to the fund will go directly to organizations that are serving those in need. If you would like to donate to the Central Indiana Community Economic Relief Fund, you can do that via text or online. Text HELP 2020 to 91999. You could also visit COVID19cerf.org.
Raphael, the bottom has dropped out of the economy in many places, but coming up next, one company is seeing a huge increase in demand, and as a result, they're looking for more workers. That's coming up in Hiring Hoosiers just after the break.
Visit redcrossblood.org.
Welcome back. RTV6 is committed to connecting you to job opportunities through our Hiring Hoosiers initiative. And that commitment is even more important as a record number of Hoosiers file for unemployment during this COVID-19 crisis and stay-at-home order. Thankfully, some businesses, as they're slowing, others are picking up pace. And we have some local companies that are looking to put unemployed Hoosiers back to work during the crisis. Like one mobile farmers market seeing a huge increase in demand for their services.
Market Wagon is an online farmers market that delivers.
An Indianapolis business is booming during this stay-at-home order.
So we help local farmers and artisans list their products online, be able to get them available to order from local consumers, and then we deliver that to the consumer's doorstep.
Market Wagon connects you to your local Hoosier farmer. As some grocery store shelves are bare and people try to limit their trips away from home, the online service with a strong local supply chain is ready to meet the need.
Over the last 3 weeks, our company's grown by over 400%. To date, we've hired well over 100 new temporary workers.
And Market Wagon co-founder and CEO Nick Carter tells me they are still hiring temporary help.
The vast majority of what we've been hiring has been people in the service industry, but they're excellent. You know, they take really good care of our customers. As we've hired drivers here, we've had farmers saying, hey, we also need hands to help us with packing or picking up and driving routes of our own. Can we share employees, or can we also give hours to those people who have been a lot of times out of work, restaurant workers and things like that. So it's been really great for everybody involved.
Workers like Troy Hanna.
I get to put headphones in and listen to music, and that helps me get my day going a little faster, which is fun and kind of takes your mind off of things for sure. But then typically what my day looks like is I walk in here and we put the bags on the shelf first. Then we put we call them order tags, but we put the order tags on the bags. That's typically a Monday and a Wednesday. And then Thursday is the chaos, which is fun. That's when the farmers show up.
The work days for this product specialist for an AV company look a little different than before thanks to the coronavirus.
Yeah, I was unfortunately laid off. It makes your head spin. I've never personally been laid off from a job or even let go from a job before, so it was a very, very new experience for me. And it was one of those, it took a while to sink in.
But Troy didn't let that news become a setback, and he got busy right away.
I was let go on a Friday, and on Saturday morning I was out hauling mulch with a friend of mine who's a landscaper.
And now he's keeping busy with Market Wagon. He says he's met so many new people, and the environment here is very positive. His best advice to others in his shoes right now is to reach out to your network of friends and stay busy.
It helps take your mind off of things and keeps you busy.
Well, Market Wagon is not only providing temporary work for people laid off due to this pandemic, but the service also helps our Indiana farmers and artisans be able to distribute some of their supply. Some of those farmers normally do a lot of businesses with local colleges and cafeterias that are now closed. If you're interested in applying for a job with Market Wagon, you can find more information on our website, hiringhoosiers.com. There we also have information on how to place an order and support our local farmers. Raphael?
What a great story. Good luck to them, and really a great effort, Lauren. Thank you so much for that. Going above and beyond to help stop the spread of the virus. Next, how a woman and her family are putting their creative skills to good use to keep healthcare workers safe. But first, let's check in with our very own TK, Todd Clausen. Good morning.
Raphael, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. We do have thunderstorms in the forecast, and they could be severe, but they don't arrive to this evening. So can you go outside? Absolutely okay. This morning and this afternoon, it's not until about 8 o'clock onward that we bring in the threat of severe weather. Even if we don't see severe storms, there'll be a lot of lightning, so you need to stay inside. We'll talk about the storm threat and also the timeline coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time now is 6:48. Working together, A family from Alexandria is coming together to help stop the spread of the COVID-19. They are on average making about 60 to 70 protective masks. Our Kelsey Anderson has their story right now from Alexandria. Good morning, Kelsey.
In a small she shed, 4 women are working tirelessly to make these protective face masks to sell to the public so they can donate some to healthcare workers.
This is all of the patterns and styles of all the face masks that we've been making.
Stephanie Ellis is used to making sleep caps for those battling cancer. But now with her store and salon closed, she says she needed to do something else with her time.
We just decided we can do this. My mom has been a quilter for many years. She's sewn all of our clothes growing up.
So they got to sewing and made dozens of masks for the healthcare providers at Community Cancer Care in Anderson, a place close to Ellis's heart.
I'm a little over 5 years cancer-free. I was stage 4. So many people were so generous and kind to me. This is just my way of giving back, being able to help.
Giving back from a safe distance.
I still have, anytime you go through chemo, you're still immune compromised a little bit. So it's not like I can be out there helping on the front lines. I'm just staying in the little one bay garage area, sewing like a crazy person.
Her masks are $10 a piece, and with the proceeds, she's making more masks to donate to healthcare professionals in her area. Since posting, she tells me people have donated supplies, given money, and so much more to help her cause.
We are thankful from the bottom of our hearts of the support.
If you're interested in buying a face mask or know of a place that could use some, you can reach Ellis's shop at thesleepcap.com. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
All right, thank you, Kelsey. It's a beautiful morning for us, a great supermoon out there. I've been saying all morning long. I've seen your pictures on social media. Get out there and check it out. There's just some high, thin clouds. And temperatures this morning, nice and mild, 59 in Kokomo, 68 in Bloomington. Most of today is going to be terrific for us, with temperatures once again well above normal. Highs will top off here in northern locations in the mid to upper 70s, 78 in Lafayette. Muncie at 75 degrees, should touch 80 degrees in many locations to the south and west. Bedford at 80 degrees, 79 in Greencastle. In and around the metro area, temperatures will be in the mid 70s. So overall, it's a great day until we get to the evening hours. And that's when things are going to change in a big time way, as we're going to bring another round of potential severe weather. We were thankfully able to dodge the ones overnight for the most part. There was one thunderstorm warning in northern Indiana late last night, early this morning, but most of the warnings were off to our east into Ohio. And you look to the west, and this is the clear skies and the sunshine we enjoy for much of the afternoon. But then a cold front is going to head our way, and the storms this evening are going to be in a line along a cold front that are going to sweep across the state. It's not going to be these individual storms that can kind of just flare up across the area. So you'll be able to time out the storms into your neighborhood this evening, and they should arrive from 8 o'clock onward across the area. It's an enhanced risk of severe weather in Bloomington and Seymour. As you work your way to the north, slight risk. Even further to the north, the marginal risk. The stronger storms will likely be across the southern portions of the state from 7 p.m. to about 1 a.m. west to east. Damaging wind, by far the main threat with these storms as they move through. Hail initially a concern until sunset, and can't rule out the chance of an isolated tornado here or there, but the threat of that is really down across southern locations. Here's the timing of the storms coming into the metro area. It's right around 9 o'clock. So the storms will arrive in western locations by about 8, 9 o'clock here in the metro area, by 10 o'clock in the eastern portion of the state, and then by midnight they should be off to the east into Ohio, and then we're just left with a few lingering showers throughout the course of the evening hours. After the cold front goes through, it's a much colder weather pattern, or cooler weather pattern, I guess I should say. Highs right around 50 on Thursday and Friday with sunshine, back to near 60, Lauren, on Easter Sunday with a few spotty showers.
Todd, thank you. A Colorado father handcuffed in front of his wife and daughter during a game of t-ball in a park. The reason? Police say it was over social distancing. Coming up next in the next hour on Good Morning America, you'll hear the dad's side of the story. It is 6:53. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
When I get to heaven, I'm going to shake God's hand. I'm going to thank him for more blessings than one man can stand. Then I'm going to get a guitar and start a rock and roll band. Check into a swell hotel. Ain't the afterlife grand? Then I'm going to get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm going to smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm going to kiss that pretty girl on the tilt the world. 'Cause this old man is going to town.
A musical poet, a musical powerhouse, the music world lost a giant overnight. John Prine's songs were recorded by everyone from Johnny Cash to Bonnie Raitt to George Strait, the Grammy winner and member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He died last night in Nashville, Tennessee, due to complications from COVID-19. John Prine was 73 years old, and I am very sure that his music will be heard not only today, but for a very, very long time.
All right, well, of course, here in Good Morning Indiana, we got to leave you on a good note, and that comes with our forecast and Todd Clausen. Another day to get outside, Todd, before things cool down.
Yeah, you know, temperatures today will be near 80 degrees in many locations. Plenty of sunshine through the daytime hours. After 8 o'clock, though, there will be the chance of severe storms.
Todd, thanks. We're back in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America.
Have a great day. Stay home. And, of course, enjoy your day today. We'll see you tomorrow right here on RTV6.